What's up, y'all? This is Danny from Fitness Saved My Life. I'm here with a special guest. His name is Louis The Motivator. He's from New Jersey. He owns a gym called CKO Kickboxing. He's a personal trainer. He's a motivator. He's a fitness instructor. And I'm happy and honored to have him here. He was recommended by a mutual friend of ours. And I know he's going to add some value. We're going to learn from him, and let's get started. How's it going, Louis? Can I call you
All
Lou?
is good on this end. Of course, of
All right.
course.
Dope,
I
dope.
appreciate the opportunity. Thank you for having me here and letting the word be heard. And
Absolutely.
hopefully, if it can help one person, then we doing our job, right?
Yep, that's what
That's
we
what it's
do it
all about.
for. Yep,
That's right.
absolutely.
hmm
So let's get
So,
started. So first question I want to ask you, first is where you from? Where you grew up?
born and raised in Brooklyn. Um, so that's where our mutual friend comes to play, which is basically family to me.
Yep,
But yeah, man, BK all day.
BK,
Yes, sir.
dope, dope. And what part of Brooklyn?
East Flatbush.
Mm, I was born in Flatbush too.
Okay,
Yeah, but I was
nice.
raised in
Yeah.
the Bronx and Far Rockaway. But
Okay.
I was born in Brooklyn. Sorry about that. It's background noise. So how was your childhood growing up in Brooklyn?
Um, it was so my story. I come from. I landed. So I was born in Brooklyn, and then took off a few years with my mother and came back to Brooklyn at 9 years old,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where I basically from there I got raised over
Mm.
back in Brooklyn, over by Kings County, over in East Flatbush,
Yep.
and so my story is a little different, being that I didn't grow up with my mother or my father. After
Mm.
that, it was with my aunt. And my aunt and my uncle got raised, and my cousins over. And so pretty much I landed on a block with well, I can look back now and say that unfortunately I landed on a block with a whole bunch of athletes, man. I got a friends of mine that made it to professional leagues. I got a friend of mine that made it to NFL, and
Dope,
I got
dope.
cats that made it pretty far. So the mentality around fitness and just athletics has always been there since day one.
Mm. Yeah. So
Um,
so did you play sports? Like, were you active?
yeah, man. Football is my sport. Football is my sport. That's what
Mm-hmm.
I focused on. We always played ball, but for me, I focused on football in high school and over upstate in college football as
Dope.
well. So yeah.
Nice, nice. So how did you get into like the fitness profession, like as a
So
business?
basically, the transition basically was, you know, coming out of going into high school and being in high school playing football. The reality of things was that the NFL was the dream, and that was the main goal
Mm.
back then. So when I chose school out of high school to go upstate in Albany, it was to play football, and that was the end result in mind. And once that didn't manifest, just being around athletics growing up is just
Mm-hmm.
fitness just kind of it was just a natural just transition into it.
Yeah.
So basically, being that just trying to be a better athlete, fitness
Mm-hmm.
was introduced to me, and working out was introduced to me basically at 15, 16 years old on a
Mm.
serious level,
Yeah, yeah.
because we all grew up in doing calisthenics on the block, and
Yep.
just manhunt and just move
Yeah.
it at all
Yep.
times. You know how it goes. And so basically, once it was knew that I wanted to take this to the next level. At 15, 16 years old is where it's kind of like, all right, I need to realize that I need to go ahead and learn this craft and actually apply it on a
Mm-hmm.
on a serious note.
On a
So
serious
once that transition happening, of not playing football, it was second nature just to go into fitness.
yeah. It's
It
like,
made sense.
yeah,
Right,
it doesn't
right.
feel like work, it's just something that you've
No,
been doing.
not
Yeah.
at all, not at all. I can say I've been fortunate. I'm grateful for that. Um, I've been doing this professionally for 11 years, and
Mm-hmm.
I'll be honest with you, I haven't worked a day in the past 11 years. Don't get me wrong, it's a hustle, and
Absolutely.
it's not nothing easy about it.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't worked in 11 years, if that makes
I,
any
I
sense.
it makes a hundred.
hmm
I feel
hmm
you on that. So, you know, I got into fitness. I was an athlete too. I played sports, throughout my childhood. But then I had a moment growing up, as an adult where I was out of shape and I was living unhealthy, drinking a lot, and partying, and I gained a lot of weight. And then, I had a moment, well, we're not going to get deep into that, but I had a moment where I woke up and was like, you know what, I need to get back into fitness and, get back into it. And I actually got into like the best shape of my life. And, people noticed that. And that's how I got into fitness. People started asking me to help them, and I'm a natural helper. And a light bulb went off in my head, like, wow, I could make this a business. Have
Right.
you have you ever been through a moment of like living unhealthy or had an unhealthy period in your life, or being out of shape?
Um, uh, yeah. I'm gonna answer that with saying yes. I think we all have our moment and periods in life where, we know what 100% looks like, and for whatever reason, at that period in time, we not given that. And yes, I've been, none of us is immune to the trials and tribulations of life, and I've been there as well.
Mhm.
Um, and I can say the times that I've been there is probably perhaps when I didn't have a why. Why
Right.
I didn't have a why to just kind of doing it for no reason, not having the
Mhm.
end result in mind, and that's probably when I let go, when I not doing what I know I needed should have been doing when it comes to fitness and working out. So yes, I have been there. And at that time, I say the height of not being in shape was actually right before I jumped into the entrepreneur world, into this whole gym business. Was
Mhm.
I worked for FedEx over in the city. I used to be a courier. I used to drive a truck out there,
Mhm.
and man, those men work.
Yeah.
They work 60-hour weeks, and you work for every penny and earned over there.
Absolutely.
And for the past 2 years on that job, back in 08, 09, 07, 08, I should say, um, I didn't know what fitness was. I didn't know what a
Mhm.
push-up was. I didn't know what a gym looked like. I completely pulled away because I got so caught up with this job. And truth be told, I was miserable. I was
Mhm.
miserable doing it. And at that time, I'm 20, 22, 23. Um, and at this point in my life, I'm thinking I'm gonna end with FedEx, right? I'm
Yeah.
gonna retire with FedEx. Everybody's telling me, man, Lou, you young, you got the benefits, stick with it.
Yeah.
By the
Yep.
time you 40 something, you'll be good. And I believed it. And but it hit a point where I was miserable. I
Mhm.
wasn't happy. I wasn't happy with what I was doing. And at that time, back in we was going into the recession, and that was the wrong time to quit a job. But you know
Right.
what? And everybody around me told me, don't do it, Lou, don't quit your job. Everybody's losing their jobs. But hey guys, I'm not happy. So
Yeah.
I made the decision to go back into fitness, and reality was I went part-time with FedEx to give myself some time to look around. Clearly, I didn't want to just jump off the ship, blind. And basically what ended up happening, man, all these gyms in the surrounding area, I basically just walked into doors and was like, hey man, you need somebody to clean this gym. You
Mhm.
need anybody to work this front desk. I just needed to be back in that environment and that
Being
mindset.
that space. Yep.
I just needed to get back into that. And that's basically I got my foot in the door. And once I knew, an opportunity landed my way in this fitness industry, yeah, man, I let go of FedEx completely, and I never looked back.
Dope. Dope.
Yes,
So,
sir.
when did you open up your gym? Like exactly, like what year?
2009. End of
Okay.
2009. So I went ahead. So CKO Kickboxing franchise, the franchise in itself started back in '96 here in Jersey. Um, and when I moved over from after I graduated in college upstate New York, and I moved over to Jersey because my family ended up purchasing a home out here. I knew nothing about Jersey, nothing.
Mhm.
All I knew is that my mom was going to give me a break on the rent. So I said, you
Right.
know what,
Right.
let me go mess with Jersey for a little bit, figure things out until I go back to the city. And yeah, fast forward to now, I'm still here because of the
Mhm.
business. But basically, um, one of the gyms that everybody said no to me, and one of the gyms said, "Hey, we need a kids instructor. Are you good with kids?"
Mm.
I never worked with kids in my life. I said, "Hey, man, I'm the best one with kids. I am the man."
Yeah.
So that got me in through the door, and they gave me the training, and from there, I became an instructor. I started with a kickboxing instructor that they trained me for, and
Mhm.
having the fitness background and just being an athlete of all of it just came to me second nature. It
Yeah.
wasn't wasn't something difficult for me. So
Mhm.
with that being said, I realized that the main owner was trying to just grow the franchise, and about a year into being an employee, the one good thing about being working 60-hour weeks at FedEx was I had no life, so I
Yeah.
saved money, and I was
Mhm.
able to stack a little something. And I said, you know what? I saw his vision with the franchises, and I said, no, I think this is something I can do.
Yeah.
And late '09 is when I approached him and I said, hey, I'm interested in opening a franchise with you, and from there it's history. Yeah.
Wow, that's dope, man.
Yes, sir.
That's amazing.
Hmm.
So like let's get to it. Like what do you um like what advice do you give your clients on, like, we're living in crazy times right now, pandemic, politics, policing, propaganda, all of the P's.
Hmm.
Um what advice do you give your clients on like how to stay focused and disciplined during this time?
Um, so, a big one is that I let everybody know, and my clients, my members, my staff, it's having that why. You know,
Hmm.
remember why you started this. Life is going to continue happening out there for all of us. It's never going to stop.
Yep.
And it just, as long as we remember why we started this journey,
Hmm.
and just sticking to that, I think that'll be half the battle covered for most of us. That'll get us through these times.
Right,
And
right.
it's crazy times that we're going through that nobody's ever gone through at this
Hmm.
point. And let's just say we was to go back into some type of shutdown and what have you. I think just keeping that end result, that
Hmm.
why goes into that end result, and that's what I think is going to keep anybody focused and keeping going on what they're supposed to be doing.
Definitely. So during the whole pandemic when things shut down, I have like contracts with like different gyms, or I had in residential buildings. I was going in training clients and training residents in buildings and at different gyms. But when all of this happened, obviously the gyms, everything shut down. And then I transitioned to doing online training. So now I do a bunch of Zoom classes, and
Hmm.
I do a lot of public speaking on Zoom with different businesses and churches and anybody that can use my expertise. How did your business be affected by the pandemic, and did you make a shift to online?
Um, I definitely did. Uh, I feel like yourself, myself, and a lot of business in the industry, our backs is up against the wall, and we had to do what we had to do. Unfortunately, not many survived coming out of it. But just like you did, I transitioned over to online classes basically. So what I
Right.
ended up doing, I went from 6 classes a day, 7 days a week, basically in the gym with different instructors, including
Yeah.
myself in the mix and the schedule. Um, and I basically, so I took that and I went 2 classes a day, um, 7 days a week.
Hmm.
And I started that in the beginning of the shutdown. And so I would do morning classes and afternoon classes for half an hour. I didn't even
Yeah.
give nobody, just trying to, everybody, including myself, was trying to figure out what was going to happen,
Right.
and
Yep.
but I know I kept all my audience engaged in that in
Hmm.
that in that time frame, and I didn't disappear on them. Which when I opened my doors back up on September 1st, I was there. I wasn't. Lou just didn't come out the woodwork and like,
Right.
where have you been? It
Hmm.
was just kind of like, hey man, the gym is open, the doors open, come back, let's go.
Come back.
You know,
That's it. Yep.
so the transition was easier because of it.
Yeah.
Um, but I think that's what it's all about. It's about just staying on your toes and being able to adapt to the situation. And
Hmm.
it's just that resilience that we have to have.
Absolutely. So for me, I don't own a gym. Like I said, I rent out spaces in different gyms. And the gym that I was renting out space in, one of the clients hit me up and was like, we're back open. When you gonna come and teach the class? But I kind of like I fell in love with the Zoom, like I'm seeing success from it. It's safe. It's, people are home. I'm home. I'm in my basement doing it.
Hmm.
It's
Hmm.
effective, and I'm still interacting with the clients, and we kind of like built a community. Not to say I'm never going to go back to in-person training, because there's something about that too that I love. But, for now, I feel like, to be on the safe side, because coronavirus is still out there.
Sure is.
I'm focusing, and I'm sticking to the Zoom and the online community, and I'm building that up. So I commend you. You own the gym, so it's like, yeah, I gotta open it back up.
Right.
It's a
Right.
little different, but it's just scary times, for trainers and clients, and we all got to take chances, and much success to you and your
Right.
gym, and
No,
I
and I
wish
and I
y'all the
commend
best.
you for delivering results to people, man, because
Hmm.
is like you said, it's not easy.
No,
But the fact that you keeping everybody engaged and
yeah.
you continue to build up, what's gonna
Hmm.
happen the second you decide to go back out into gyms and actually do it in person, now
Right.
your following is just doubled up, tripled up on you.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying? So
Absolutely.
it's all progress,
Yeah.
and so respect to you for that, man.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Real talk.
So,
Yeah.
what's your definition of success? You know, everyone has a different definition. As an entrepreneur, like, you know, we all have our perspective on it.
Hmm.
And what's yours?
Success to me is being able to wake up and not feel like I'm working,
Mm,
and being able to wake up because my passion is waking me up. That's
mhm.
success to me.
Absolutely.
Um, in the very beginning, when I got involved in this business, all I knew is that I have a gift with people that I can motivate and inspire people,
Mhm.
and I knew a thing or two about fitness. Um, I knew nothing about business. I knew
Yeah.
nothing about business. I be honest with you, I walked in it with my eyes closed.
Mm,
And I learned along the way, and I made mistakes the first year or two, and you know, but I it's never felt like a job to me, and I think that's success for
yeah.
me, particularly that following my passion and not in the beginning. I made the mistake of like I'm open a business and I'm gonna make X amount of money,
Hmm.
but then I realized that was the mistake. And if you start chasing and just focusing on your passion, on your craft, everything else
Hmm.
falls
Yep.
in, and the money
Absolutely.
comes with it. Yeah.
Yeah. You know,
Hmm.
our definition is similar. You know, I tell my brother, he's a little younger than me, and I tell him all the time, you know, you gotta build yourself up, make yourself valuable, you know, and people will invest in you. You know what I'm
So,
saying? It's like it's not about
yep,
chasing money. If you make yourself valuable, people will pay you for your expertise. You know, master and be an expert in whatever field you're going to get into, because people will pay you for your expertise. And
that's
it
right.
just, like you said, it doesn't feel like work. You know, my definition of success is, like I said, similar to yours, is being able to do what you love and passionate about it and monetizing it and being able to take care of your family from it.
Right.
And that's like you never work a day in your life if you do that.
Exactly.
So where do you see yourself in 5 years? And what
Um,
steps are you taking to get there?
so I'm definitely looking at opening more locations
Hmm.
in the near future, especially now that the dust cloud is settling from everything that's been happening in the 6 months. The opportunity is now here more now than ever, and there's a lot of places that have closed, unfortunately, but some lose and others gain, and I'm looking to capitalize on the situation, and I would go as far as that's in 5 years. I'm definitely looking to have at least 3 locations opened,
Nice.
um, and just by just staying active in a neighborhood in the neighboring areas around the gym now, and just looking for new spaces, man, and just
Hmm.
continue to grow the brand.
Dope, dope. I like that.
Hmm.
So we're in the holiday season. Like how do you stay focused throughout the holidays as far as eating right, fitness, and we're human too. We get caught up in the pies and the cakes and the turkeys and all of that. Like, so how do you stay focused and maintain?
The same way that I tell my clients and my members, it's not about doing a cold turkey switch and living this rigid life about meal prepping
Hmm.
and weighing your food, especially around the holidays, which we all know it's way harder to do so. But it's
Hmm.
about living life, enjoying life, but knowing that if you got to balance that with fitness.
Yes.
You got to be able to put the work in. You got to know that, hey man, all right, I'm gonna enjoy this food that I shouldn't be having too much of, but I
Hmm.
know that I'm gonna go ahead and put the work in
Yep.
the gym,
Absolutely.
on the
Hmm.
Zoom training. Like, just know that, hey man, for everything that you put in, you have to put out,
Yep.
and just being disciplined in that aspect.
Yeah. I look at it, I tell my clients the 80-20 rule. You know, 80% of the time you're working out, you eating clean, you're doing what you need to do. And that 20% is the holidays, the birthdays, the New Year's. And that 20% won't affect you, in a negative way if you're doing what you need to do that for that 80% of the time. A lot of people want to
Exactly.
do it 50-50. They want to eat crazy and then work out. And that's not
That
gonna
might,
it's not gonna
right,
balance out.
right, it might not deliver what you were looking for. Correct.
Yeah, so
And at the end of the
definitely.
day, too, that 80-20 that you're mentioning, it's also it's great because it gives you. We need that mental escape sometimes.
Yeah,
Like you
definitely.
need to just sometimes. Hey man, we go hard 5-6 days out of the week, man. You need that
Hmm.
balance where it's kind of like, all right, let me unplug for a moment.
Yes, yes, yep.
Um, because you don't want to burn out either. So you
Hmm.
gotta, like you said, it's a balance.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Speaking of burning out, like, I'm so busy. I just started this podcast. I'm writing a book. I'm doing the Zoom. I'm a father of three. And I just was telling my friend, like, I need to plan to have nothing planned. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need that balance because every day, like even now, today's my son's birthday. So after this, I gotta run down to the Bronx, spend time with
Life
him
never
and hang
stops.
out.
Life
Yeah,
never stops. Right. Right.
before I met up with you, I had a client that I trained this morning. So I'm like always on the go. And I was like, you know what? Coming up soon, I need to like just plan to do nothing, at least for one day. I'm always trying to fill in the hours. So I get it, balance wise, even with,
Right.
just being busy as an entrepreneur.
You got to give yourself that time. Got to give yourself
Absolutely.
that time. Hmm.
What was one of your biggest accomplishments?
Um, so to keep it in context, I'll say that one of my biggest accomplishments is opening up the gym.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, I saved a couple of pennies over from FedEx, but it was a fraction of what the amount that was asking for. I literally that year, those 10 months leading up to obtaining the gym, I was laser focused on obtaining the gym. Everything I read, listened, spoke had to do with obtaining the gym, the books, the audios, the seminars, the
Yes.
people. So I literally used to sit in a bus to go to the city to go clock in for FedEx.
Mm-hmm.
And you get to a schedule, you see the same people. I literally sat next to people. Hey man, my name is Lewis. I have this business plan. If you
Mm-hmm.
lend me $5,000, I can give you this much back in this amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, everyone, and it's crazy. This might sound, even my family looked at me like I was crazy.
Mm.
I had strangers I've met on bus rides for a year and a half of just kind of like this guy in a
Yeah.
FedEx uniform that trusted in me and gave me bread.
Mm.
And I paid every
Wow.
single person back. And
Wow.
that accomplishment, when I was able to build up the money, the total amount of money to get that gym,
Mm-hmm.
I could definitely say that was one of the biggest accomplishments because I proved to myself that if it is as corny as it sounds, man, if you put your mind to it
Ah, yeah.
all else erases and it's just literally
Laser focus.
tunnel
Yeah.
vision, I'm telling you, it
Mm.
is possible.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna put this out there, man. A great book that changed my paradigm I highly recommend is Think and Grow Rich.
Mm-hmm.
I picked up that book around that time by Napoleon Hill, and man, I lived every single
Yeah.
chapter I read. Like I
Yes.
literally lived every single chapter I
Yeah.
read. You spoke to me, I was asking you for money.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, what's up? Man? My name is Lewis. Yo, you got a G? I can borrow? What? Excuse
Word.
me? Who are you? But
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
saw that I was hungry, man. I was bullshitting.
Mm-hmm.
Pardon my language, but um, it was real. And then when it manifested for me,
Mm-hmm. Wow.
it was one of my biggest
Yeah.
accomplishments. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
I read that book. I also read from Napoleon Hill's a book called How to Sell Your Way Through Life.
Hmm.
And that book was powerful too.
Hmm.
And it tells you not like, sell yourself as far as selling products or selling material things. It's like selling yourself. Like we're always selling ourselves. And like we
We're
go on
all salesmen. Yep.
interviews, we go on a date with someone. We're
Yeah. Yeah.
always selling
Yeah.
ourselves. And then
Hmm.
this book teaches you how to put your best foot forward.
Hmm.
And it's not like put your best foot forward and then later on down the line the real you. No,
Right.
be who
Right.
you are, but expose that, show that. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
on the job interview, we always say the things that we can do. Our resume speaks highly of us, but then sometimes when we get on the job we don't live up to
There's a
what we
whole right.
promised.
Right. It's a whole
you
different
know
ballgame.
but when you, like you said, when you put yourself out there and you show that passion, people are willing to
It
invest in
genuinely gets
you.
picked up.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. Oh
and
yeah.
that
Oh yeah.
so yeah, How to Sell Your Way Through Life is a great book by Napoleon Hill as well.
Awesome.
Do you have like any mentors or someone that inspires you?
Yeah, I definitely have had many mentors throughout my lifetime that, has definitely got me through. And one of my main mentors is one of my best friend who I grew up with. His name is Cortland Laws. And to this day, man, he's always dropping knowledge and just drop gems and just grounds me when I need to be grounded and keeps it real,
Hmm.
100% real. And that's hard to come by,
Yep.
nowadays. And that's someone that, since day one till now, it's definitely been a big mentor in my life.
Dope, dope.
Hmm.
And so I get this question asked to me a lot because I do both. So I'm gonna ask you. So you did personal training like one on one, right? I'm assuming. So what do you like better, the personal training or group fitness?
Um,
I know it's
it's a tough one. It's a tough
yeah.
one because I want to answer. It depends on the mood and what's happening for the day, and
Mhm.
but and it's not fair to say that I enjoy both. Um, I gotta say the one-on-one training.
The one
I
on
gotta
one.
say the one-on-one training would definitely probably take a lead on that. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
dope. And you still do that as well?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I teach the group classes. I also, yeah, I do
You still
one-on-one
do the
training.
one on one?
Oh yeah.
So got it. So this podcast is called Fitness Saved My Life. And it definitely saved mine. So how has fitness saved your life?
Um, if it wasn't for fitness, if it wasn't for athletics turning into fitness, um, growing up in the neighborhoods that we grew up in, it, majority of the times a lot of people don't make it out for the best.
Hmm. Absolutely.
And I definitely think that if it wasn't for that and fitness overall, I I couldn't tell you that I'll be here today and
Hmm.
accomplished everything I accomplished today, and being able to help the amount of people I've helped in the past 11 years. I don't think I would have had that impact
Right.
on. I wouldn't have had that avenue to impact that many people,
Hmm.
and or any people at all, to be
Right.
honest with you. So I think it definitely saved my life in that regard. That it set me on a path of being able to help others and accomplish what I've accomplished.
Hmm.
So yeah, fitness definitely kept me out of trouble, and it's put me where I am today.
That's what's up. And also, it's like a trickle down effect. Fitness saved your life, and in return, you were able to save other people's lives through fitness. So, it's the gift that keeps on giving. So I was on
Definitely.
your Instagram, and I read the quote that you said in your bio. It said, "Manifesting dreams into realities." What do you mean
So
by that?
um, it's exactly what I mentioned earlier in obtaining the gym, for example. You know, uh, there was a vision board.
Hmm.
There was the gym on that vision board, and I took it's be do have, right. Who do we have to be? What do we have to do in order to have what we want?
Mm.
And when you bring all of that together, all those paradigms together, um, that's that's the action to manifest whatever it is that your vision on your vision board, and your visioning with whatever it is in your life that you want to accomplish. It's about envisioning it,
Hmm.
and what actions are you going to take to make it happen, to make it
Right.
manifest.
Mm.
So I'm constantly, you know, I'm constantly manifesting things on my end. I really I vision things and I make it happen through,
Hmm.
again, this vehicle of fitness.
Yep.
That and it's only successful because of giving back to people,
You're right.
because the countless story that has gone in and out my gym, the countless staff members I've had over the years, that somehow, some way, I've helped change people's lives.
Hmm. Absolutely.
It,
That's dope.
yeah, that's the bottom line.
Yep. So do you like you say you give back? Do you participate or give to any charities in the neighborhood or in Brooklyn or anything like that?
Unfortunately, I can't say that I reach out outside of Jersey, but in the local neighborhoods, I'm in a town called West New York. So
Hmm.
there's some shelters around here. There's the high schools and junior high schools. Throughout the year. Well, clearly the past 6 months, it hasn't been the case. But prior to that, you know, I've been involved with helping teams, sport teams, you know, because this is right up my alley. It's what I do,
Yep.
you know, and half these teams, for whatever reason, don't have the budget to give a team training more than a day a week or whatever have you. And then I've partnered up with some of these schools and just said, hey, man, I can give them an extra day of fitness if I just bring them down here. So, yeah.
That's good.
Giving back to the community that way. Yes, sir.
Nice, thanks. So before we close out, I like to do a little word association. So it's like a little segment where I mention a word and you just say the first thing that comes to your mind. It don't have to be one word answer, you know, you could just whatever it is that comes to your mind. All right. Cool to play that real quick?
Let's do it.
All right. First thing, 2020.
Resilience. Have to be resilience in 2020.
Got it. Resilience. Lewis, the motivator.
Hard work, dedication, health is wealth, movement is medicine. If you feel good, you look good. If you feel strong, you are strong.
Nice. Fear.
Don't let it stop you, but embrace it. Don't let it stop you, embrace it, and use it so you can go further.
Quarantine.
Focused.
Nice.
Read your books, eat the food you're supposed to eat, stay active.
Dope. Last one, my favorite, fitness.
Action.
Action. Nice. That's dope. So listen, we're going to close this out. I feel honored and blessed. You dropped so many jewels, man. I can't wait to actually watch this over again because I learned a lot. Yes, thank you. And where can they find you? You want to shout out your Instagram, your location, your gym location?
I appreciate that. Definitely, man. I'm at Lu The Motivator, Lu The Motivator, all one word. You guys can find me there. And if you guys ever in the area in West New York, New Jersey, that's Northern New Jersey, 4914 Kennedy Boulevard, CKO Kickboxing. We in there, man. We changing lives. Hey, come on through, stop on by, take a class, see what it's all about.
Yeah, I definitely want to take a class, actually.
Please, man.
So,
please, man, come through.
I'm going to be there.
My door's always open. Real talk.
Appreciate that, man. Yes, well, thank you again, man. You have a great Sunday. And I'll be in touch, man. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, let's do that, man. I appreciate that. Take care, bro.
Later, bro.
Yeah. One.